Welcome, everybody, to this very special presentation on Media Spotlight UK. Today, we are joined by a phenomenal performer, one of the most versatile performers in all of entertainment, I'm going to say. She's a singer, she's a dancer, she's an actress, she's a WWE superstar. She is, you might know her as Lana, but her name is CJ Perry. CJ, so lovely to have you. How are you today?
Good, thank you. Thank you so much for having me.
It's a pleasure. Now, I've got to ask you, I'm so used to watching you on WWE television. What do people call you day to day? Do people call you Lana? Do people call you CJ? And what do you prefer to be?
Well, I love to be called CJ. My parents always called me CJ, and my grandmother actually named me CJ. So that's always a special place in my heart. But when I walk through that curtain, I am Lana. So just depends on where you catch me.
No, absolutely. Well, we're pleased to catch you at all. Pleased to have the chance. And we'll talk a little bit about Lana a little bit later. But right now, we've got to focus on something that's very exciting. You're in a film with Bruce Willis. It's called Cosmic Sin. It's coming out on demand on the 12th of March. We're very excited to see it. Tell us, what was it like to work with someone as legendary as Bruce Willis?
Oh, Bruce is so amazing. He, obviously is a movie star. And when you see his one takes, you're like, okay, that is why they pay you the big bucks, because you are a one take movie star. So yeah, it was amazing. It was my first sci-fi that I ever did. So to be able to have this new experience, because I loved watching Star Trek growing up and I love Star Wars. And so I love anything with sci-fi, Guardians of the Galaxy, of course. And so to be in a movie that had it is science fiction was like, whoa, this is a dream come true. And I had this huge bazooka, this huge gun, and I might be like one of the best snipers in the galaxy in the movie.
If you do say so yourself.
So they say.
That's awesome. That's really cool. That's really exciting, obviously. And, working with someone like Bruce Willis, who's been an action hero, a legend for such a long time, as you say. How butch is he in real life? I'm a big fan. So I'm just curious. Is he really butch in real life?
Is he really what? Like,
butch, like muscular butch.
Oh yeah, no, totally. It's crazy. I mean, it's Bruce Willis and it's insane. I love action movies so much and I love thrillers. So to be there with, one of the best was incredible.
Yeah, sorry. In England, we use the word butch a lot. Like that's our
I'm like, wait, what does that word mean? And the way you're using it. Yeah, jacked.
Oh yeah, yeah, of course. It just means Bruce Willis in Cosmic Sin. That's all it means.
Exactly.
So this is great. I mean, you started your career with a lot of acting, and then there was this kind of detour into the world of WWE and professional wrestling, and fans have enjoyed watching you such a long time. How do you transition to that? I mean, give us a little guidance into how that's different. Performing in the ring and in the chamber, as you're going to do soon. How different is that to performing on a film camera?
I would say the biggest difference is that it's live. With this Bruce Willis film, we didn't have a lot of takes. We had one take pretty much, maybe two at most. So that was kind of similar in WWE, but it's not live. So that's the biggest difference. I think we still had to do everything ourselves, everything we're doing, all our stunts, everything we had to do ourselves. So that was very similar to WWE. We didn't have a stunt man doing our stuff or any of that. But I think as the biggest difference is, for me, a little bit of the adrenaline rush from the difference between pro wrestling on live television and movies, because it's that instantly. You instantly know how it's being received. It's a little bit different now without the fans, but usually exactly how the world is taking it because of that instant live reaction, and there's no adrenaline rush that I personally get that is like that. So I miss the fans a lot. They really are like the third character of our show. But I think there's a lot of similarities. I mean, we're storytellers. That's the most common thread, is that we're telling stories and we want to provoke emotion, and we want to provoke emotion from the viewer. And as an actor, entertainer, an athlete, a storyteller, if I'm not making people feel something, then I'm failing. And so I kind of try to carry that into anything, if it's Cosmic Sin to Monday Night Raw.
No, I mean, that's a fascinating insight. But as you say, I mean, as the fans play such a huge role in WWE, and it's so interactive, and you've got that immediate feedback. For a lot of your time in WWE, you played a villainous character, a bad guy. I mean, is it difficult sometimes, because fans can be quite unforgiving, and sometimes they don't realize how far they're going on social media. Do you have difficult days sometimes?
Oh, yeah, for sure. I mean, I think that people think we are our characters, and especially villains. I love playing a villain for so long. It's so much fun. And I think before WWE, I never played a villain. I went out for some auditions that were a villain, but usually, ironically, they were Russian roles. So every time I was going out for a Russian role, they were the villain. Surprise, surprise. But it was challenging for me in the beginning of WWE, because I'm like, I don't want to be mean. I love people. I'm positive. I count my blessings. And so, but that's what I enjoyed about WWE, is like, it taught me to really dig deep into acting and find these layers of us. So I enjoyed a lot being a villain. And now I'm in this new chapter where I am a good guy in WWE. I'm an underdog, and oh man, it's definitely very different. And but I'm always up for challenges, and it's exciting. And I do like to wear the color pink. So, I guess pink is a good guy.
Well, it looks very good on you. So tell me this. I mean, you've been working a lot with Nia Jax recently, another quite aggressive performer, and it looks quite daunting just watching you on television, taking some of those hits, going through the tables. I mean, you just kind of can't help but shudder. Are you sore right now?
Are you kidding me? Am I sore? I am living and being sore. Like it's usually like the difference between like, oh, am I so sore, I'm gonna just lay down for most of the day, or that's the day after I fight Nia Jax, I'm always like, whoa. She's a lot of strength coming at you, but I know what I've chosen to do. I want to fight. I want to be champion. And I know that I have to face my biggest giants if I want to do that. And right now it's Nia and Shayna that are my big giants, and they hold the titles, and I am coming after them and working hard with Naomi, and praying that luck will be on our side. All of it.
I mean, we wish you the very best. We'd love to see you guys with those titles that have become so prestigious in just a short amount of time, just 2 years, and they've already become something that a lot of wrestlers aspire to. I wanted to ask you a little bit about kind of character stuff, like holding on to your character. Is it difficult? Now, obviously, you had a Russian accent, for the character of Lana. And I mean, I remember watching you on Total Divas as well, and you'd kind of go in and out of the accent quite seamlessly. Like, oh, 1 second I'm on TV, or I've got to take a call, and I could be Lana, and I can put that down. I'm back to being CJ. Do you ever get lost in character? Like, do you ever find yourself doing the Russian accent day to day?
I think that in my own life, like I start having like a weird dialect sometimes. And I think it's just a combination of like, Russia, Florida, New York, California, Nashville. It's like all these weird combinations, but no, I really enjoyed it. I really enjoyed the Russian character with the Russian accent. It was a lot of fun. It was so many signature things I was able to create, like the bun and the suits and the accent. But the exciting thing about WWE is like you can evolve your character, and as human beings we evolve. And so I want my character evolved too, because I'm not the same person that I was 7 years ago when I started, and I have evolved and changed, and our characters can evolve and change. And the other amazing thing about WWE is that it's one of the longest running shows period on television, which is insane to me. And it is a television show. It is predetermined endings. It is storytelling, and we are characters, and you can find yourself in these really interesting, compelling stories if you are willing to evolve and to change and to adapt. I think often people get stuck of like, my character only does this, but it's like, no, even as human beings, when we're put in a given circumstance, we don't always know exactly what we would do. So we have to like go on that road and be willing to change, and also be willing to not know everything, be okay with it, taking one day at a time.
Absolutely. I mean, there's a lot of wisdom and fables in professional wrestling. That's why we kind of love it. And it is one of the most, I think one of the reasons it's so enduring is the adaptability as well. Like when you watch, Raw or SmackDown, it's a time of a pandemic at the moment. We can't have live fans. That ingenuity to think of the Thunderdome. I've got to ask you, like, what that's like. Obviously, I imagine it's not the same as having the fans there live, but it's incredible the thought that went into, we can't have them there in person. Let's have them there digitally. Does it make a difference?
Oh my gosh, it completely makes a difference. When we went from the Performance Center to the Thunderdome, and WWE was like one of the first, where that's what I love working for WWE. They're so innovative and cutting edge for their time. And so we were one of the first to go into the arenas and have this whole digital thing. And it was really exciting. I mean, at the Performance Center, it was kind of cool in many ways and like wild, because we were during the heart of the pandemic when it first started. We were at the Performance Center and NXT, and I started there on their very first day. I think it was like July 8th, 2013. I started with Alexa Bliss and Braun. Like that was my class. Becky Lynch. We were all in the same class that started there. And so it was wild coming back there and being like, wait, what? Like we're here having WrestleMania at this place that we started at, and it's really, really cool. But I was really happy when we moved into the Thunderdome, and it was just like, it felt like that's where we're supposed to be, in this arena again. And having the fans at least a part of it, with the digital screens, so thankful. So much better.
It is a great production, and it's fascinating how much ingenuity WWE show as well. And we're looking forward to obviously the Elimination Chamber, which is coming up short. We're looking forward to seeing what role you play. Obviously, it's not confirmed yet, but we suspect it's going to be something to do with those tag title belts, the women's tag title belts, and then WrestleMania is not too far away as well. It's like a 2-nighter again this year, which is exciting for fans. 2 nights of fantastic entertainment. Do you have any inkling at the moment what your role's going to be around WrestleMania?
Oh, they keep us all on our toes. Like we have no idea. So it's pretty wild. I'm just, I'm going to keep on working hard. I'm going to keep on preparing. I'm going to keep on saying my prayers and affirmations and meditating and hope that, they say that luck is when opportunity meets those who are prepared. So I'm just going to keep on hoping that maybe I face Nia and Shane at WrestleMania, why not? Maybe I become champion with Naomi at WrestleMania. That's what I'm hoping for. I'm hoping to either walk in with those titles and walk out with those tag team championship titles with Naomi, or at least to grab them there.
Yeah, I mean, I like your chances. I got to tell you, I think that could very, very well happen. Tell us a little bit about the future for yourself, CJ. I mean, you've got this incredible schedule. In fact, we'll talk about the future in a minute. I've got to ask you about the scheduling, because obviously, famously, WWE has a really punishing schedule. Wrestlers on the road all the time, the superstars. If you're not, performing, then you're doing interviews or doing promo or doing appearances. So you have this endless schedule. How did you fit a film into that schedule? Like, how difficult was that practically?
It was kind of insane. It was shot in 3 weeks. The wild thing was I literally did, it was a wild schedule because I was doing WWE. Then I went to the Bahamas to shoot Adam Devine's house party show, then went back to WWE Canada. We had shows in the snow, like crazy snow. This was like a year ago, or right around this time a year ago. Then we flew to Saudi Arabia, did a show. Then I went straight to the movie, and I did it for like 2.5 weeks or 3 weeks. And we wrapped it the day everything started to get shut down. It was like March 13th. And that was when we wrapped the movie. So it was literally incredible that we were able to finish it. It was madness though. Like the hours that we were having, that's what I was saying. It was like one take and go. I'm really thankful because that's the 14th was when all the studios started shutting down. And so you know what, we knew what happened after that. So I got really lucky. The movie got really lucky, that we, and I'm so thankful for that we were able to wrap it before everything had to stop. Because if we didn't do that, it wouldn't be coming out on March 12th.
No, and we're looking forward to seeing it. It's on demand on March 12th. Cosmic Sin is the film that we're talking about. And obviously you've done you did a studios film as well before. I'm really curious, does Vince McMahon watch the films?
I think Vince McMahon watches a lot more than we think he does. Really? I think oh yeah, I'm sure he does. You know, he has those flights on airplanes, and I think, you know, he's a mad genius. So there's a reason why he's a self-made billionaire.
Do you remember the first time you met him?
Yes, I do. I do remember. I believe it was in the hallway on an arena in Ohio, Columbus, Ohio. Yep. And I shook his hand. I was like, "Hello, Vince McMahon."
What can you tell us about it?
Oh, I just remember.
I'm just curious. What's it like the first time you meet?
Yeah, I gave him a really good handshake and smile. Thank you for the opportunity. That was my first experience. I said, introduced myself and thanked him for the opportunity.
Yeah, it's probably a good way to go. And maybe he'd let you borrow your jet if you've got to fly across countries and do all of this kind of stuff. So, you know, in the future, obviously, we're hoping in terms of WWE, there's going to be some gold. You know, there's going to be some championships. What about in terms of film? Like, what would you, in an ideal world, what would you do next? What would your next project be? If you could pick anything in the world.
Oh my, if I could pick anything in the world, I would definitely want to become either a superhero or supervillain in the Marvel family, for sure. I'm a huge Marvel fan. I'm a huge comic book fan, and also sci-fi. So, you know, Star Wars, anything with DC or Marvel. But oh gosh, that would be a crazy dream, you know, like maybe something on Disney or something, or a movie or a television show. But I love what I'm doing in WWE. I'm so thankful for the opportunity, but it would be cool to be, you know, a Marvel villain or superhero. That would be pretty badass.
Yeah, if anybody's watching from the MCU or from Star Wars, if George Lucas is watching this right now, come on, guys. You can't do better than CJ Perry, surely. You've got to get her involved for sure. And in terms of wrestling, you know, you've kind of almost a veteran now, I would say. You know, you've been around for a better part of a decade now. So, I mean, what do you think is, once you get to the tag team championships and, you know, maybe some more singles gold as well at some stage, what would your ultimate legacy be in WWE wrestling?
My ultimate legacy, I mean, I want to be in the Hall of Fame for sure. And I guess I want to be remembered as, you know, the character, the superstar that could do anything. Like, you could throw her in anything. If it was being a Russian patriotic woman, if it was a crazy ex-girlfriend, to an adulteress, to, you know, a girl that wants to compete in the ring and has big dreams. Like, I think I'm just getting started. I would like to work here as long as I can, and they will have me. I think there's, you know, I'm only starting to tell incredible stories, and this is just the beginning, and there's so much more to tell and evolve and change. And you know, I want to bring a man to gold. I want to help a man become champion. I want to help a woman become champion, and I want to become champion too. There's a lot to achieve.
Lots to achieve, indeed. Lots of goals there as well. Finally, Lana, Lana. See, I can't help it. I just called you Lana. There we go. Finally, CJ, before we wrap this up, can I ask you some quick fire questions, like quick answers, if that's okay?
Yes.
Okay. Awesome. Here we go. Okay. So, who's your favorite person to travel the road with? Your favorite road buddy?
Naomi.
Okay, that's good. That's a good answer.
Or Liv Morgan. Liv Morgan too. Naomi and Liv Morgan, one or the other. Like, they're both great. Naomi, she's my tag partner. Naomi.
There you go. I'm sure Liv won't mind. Your favorite city to visit with the WWE?
New Orleans.
Oh, I'm so curious why, but this is quick fire. I gotta keep going. Okay, the best hotel you've ever stayed at while on the road?
Oh my God, blank, Saudi Arabia, the hotel in Saudi Arabia. Yes.
Oh, wow.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Fantastic. Yeah. What about the worst hotel you've ever stayed at on the road?
probably some type of hotel in the United States of America. That is probably the beginning. I always stay at the Marriott, so I've got only pretty good experiences.
Okay.
Maybe something in the beginning, I can't remember. Motel 6, probably.
Motel 6. Excellent. Okay, you walk into catering. What are you likely to put on your plate?
I like to put meat in there or fish, and I like to put some carbohydrates to give me some sugar, maybe some sweet potatoes, and I like to get a cookie. A peanut butter
treat.
cookie.
Yeah, absolutely.
A peanut butter cookie. It gives me energy. I need some of my protein, and I need my carbohydrates, and I need my sugars, so I'm just like good to go, and my coffee.
Yeah, of course, I've got all the food groups covered. I absolutely love it. What is your favorite film?
My favorite film? What About Bob?
Oh, I love What About Bob. What a great choice. Love Bill Murray.
Love that movie. It's just
and what about your favorite song?
My favorite song, We'll Always Love You.
Oh, nice.
By Whitney
Great
Houston.
choice. These are all such great choices. Of course, yes. I didn't think you meant the cover version by NSYNC, even though that was pretty good. This is really good, by the way. It's been such a pleasure speaking to you, Lana CJ Perry. You're going to be starring in Cosmic Sin alongside a great lineup of actors, including Bruce Willis. It's going to be on demand on the 12th of March, video on demand. So check it out, find it wherever you can. It's been such a pleasure to have you. Before we let you go, CJ Perry, you've got a huge Russian fan base as well, as you know. Would you be able to say something to your fan base in Russian?
Я вас очень люблю. I just said that I love them so much.
There we go. There we go. Short and sweet and with a translation. It's been an absolute pleasure, Lana. We at Media Spotlight UK wish you the very best in your future. We hope the movie's a big hit, and we really hope to see you in even bigger and broader and maybe one of those Marvel movies at some point. And of course, best of luck at Elimination Chamber.
Thank you. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Thank you for having me.
Thank you for your time.